Sanibonani and welcome to our third lesson. As you already know, inside body cells, the human nucleus has 46 chromosomes. These are actually 23 pairs of chromosomes. One of each pair was inherited from the mother parent and the other was inherited from the father parent. The pairs of chromosomes are known as homologous chromosomes. Of the diploid set of 46 chromosomes, 44 chromosomes are regarded as body chromosomes or autosomes. The remaining 2 chromosomes are called the sex chromosomes. The sex chromosomes are named the X and the Y chromosome. A male will have 1 copy of the X chromosome and will have 1 copy of the Y chromosome. We say the male is therefore XY. A female will have 2 copies of the X chromosome and the female is therefore XX. Unlike the autosomes, the sex chromosomes are not homologous. They do not carry the same genes. However, during meiosis, they pair up as if they were homologous, even though they are not physically matched. They behave throughout meiosis as a pair. When a female undergoes oogenesis, each ovum she produces will have only 1 copy of the X chromosome in it. However, when a male undergoes spermatogenesis and produces sperm cells, each sperm cell will have an X chromosome or a Y chromosome. Since it is the male that is able to produce 2 different kinds of gametes, that is, a gamete with an X chromosome and a gamete with a Y chromosome, it is the male that determines the sex of the offspring. The egg that the female produces will always have an X chromosome in it. Half of the sperm produced will have an X chromosome and the other half of the sperm will have a Y chromosome. It is up to chance whether the egg cell is fertilized by an X-carrying sperm or a Y-carrying sperm. If the egg is fertilized by an X-carrying sperm, then the offspring will be female. If the egg is fertilized by a Y-carrying sperm, then the offspring will be male. The sex chromosomes do not only carry the genes that determine sex. Because the X chromosome, which is larger than the Y chromosome, and because it is carried by both males and females, the X chromosome also carries genes that code for traits other than sex. The term sex-linked or X-linked is used to describe the genes that are carried on the X chromosome. In humans, 2 well-known X-linked traits are hemophilia and the red-green color blindness. Hemophilia is a failure to produce certain substance needed for proper blood clotting. So a hemophiliac's blood doesn't clot, and they could bleed to death from an injury that a normal person might not even notice. One of the most famous genetic cases involving hemophilia was Queen Victoria of England. She is thought to have had a spontaneous mutation which resulted in her becoming a carrier of this disorder. She passed the harmful allele for this X-linked trait onto one of her 4 sons and at least 2 of her 5 daughters. Her son Leopold had the disease and died at the age of 30, while her daughters were only carriers. As a result of marrying into other European royal families, the princesses Alice and Beatrice spread hemophilia to Russia, Germany, and Spain. By the early 20th century, 10 of Victoria's descendants had hemophilia. Red-green color blindness is another genetic disorder that is sex-linked. Red-green color blindness simply means that a person cannot distinguish shades of red and green. They are, however, able to see normally. They just can't tell the difference between red and green. There is no treatment for color blindness. It can only be frustrating for individuals affected by it. Some people have the misconception that color blindness means that a colorblind person sees only in black and white or shades of gray. Being colorblind makes certain jobs you all take for granted much more difficult. Think of how frustrating and potentially dangerous it could be just telling which color a robot is showing. Okay guys, you've got another quiz coming up. I'll see you right after for our final lesson.